YouTube and welcome to another video that I have for you guys today, and I haven't been able to upload in ages and I apologise because I've been in uni and stuff and I've had like no time at all, but I'm finally uploading one, and this is one of the like Halloween tournament videos as well, so I hope you guys enjoy this battle. I have to say a massive thank you to Kevin because Kevin's kind of hosting the tournament for me because I just literally don't have the time to update anything, so thanks Kevin for doing that for me, and this battle actually has him in it as well, so hope you guys enjoy this battle, and let's get straight into it. So Kevin's going to lead out with his shiny Drapion, and Francis is going to lead out with Weezing, who's like ultimately OP, so expecting a Will-O-Wisp or something, Kevin's swapping out into his Chandelure, probably a Flash Fire one, so he could get a Flash Fire boost from the Will-O-Wisp or something, but he's actually going to swap out that Weezing and go into Espeon, which I thought was really risky because Drapion would have easily one-shot Espeon just as easily as the Chandelure is about to be Shadow Ball. So that's Espeon is Espe gone, and Espeon didn't really stand a chance there at all. It was barely in for a turn, swapped in straight to a Shadow Ball and just died, so not good news for Francis there at all. So he's going to swap into his Escavalier next, predicting the swap from Chandelure is going to go for Pursuit, which is going to do massive damage and almost take it out in one shot, but leave it on like 12 health or something crazy. And in comes Nightwing, who isn't even like Gligar, of course, because every single life score online is called Nightwing. So anyway, he's going to swap out the Escavalier and bring in Weezing, probably for another Will-O-Wisp or something, but Nightwing's going to go for a knockoff and knock off the Black Sludge, which is going to limit its recovery to just Plain Split now, which is pretty helpful for Kevin. So he's going to swap out and go back into his Chandelure, maybe hoping for another Will-O-Wisp Flash Fire kind of thing, but Weezing's just going to go straight for a Sludge Wave and take out the Chandelure, even though it's resisted and stuff, and that is the poor Chandelure. No puns intended. Anyway, in comes Miss Magius, and it's a shiny Miss Magius as well, which kind of looks like a bit like Baby Poo, but you know, what can you do? She's going to chicken shit it out and swap out his Weezing there and go back into a Escavalier, straight to a Will-O-Wisp, which was really, really good for Kevin there, because the Escavalier's knockoff would easily one-shot Miss Magius. If it wasn't burned, and almost one-shots it even though it is burned. So Miss Maggie's going to fire off Shadow Ball there and do a decent-ish amount of damage, but its defences must be pretty high. Anything that's steel typing tends to have really, really OP defenses. And he's going to go for that knockoff and almost take it out in one shot, even with the burn, which is pretty impressive for an unstabbed attack as well. So anyway, he's going to fire off more Shadow Balls just to try and finish that thing off, but it's just about going to live. He's going to go for a Pursuit there, which is just about going to finish it off anyway. Whether it swapped out or not, it was always going to kill it, which was a pretty safe play for him to make, and that is the end of Miss Magius. The Escavalier is going to take a tiny bit more residual damage from the burn and is living on the smidgenest bit of health, so he's going to swap in his Drapion and try and go for a Fell Stinger to get a +2 attack boost, but he's going to swap out the Escavalier back into Weezing, which was a pretty nice swap because obviously that Fell Stinger is going to do diddly squit and no attack boosts for Drapion at all. So he's going to swap out his Drapion now, not really being able to do anything, fearing a Will-O-Wisp, and he's going to swap into Umbreon, maybe hoping to get a Synchronize or something on that Will-O-Wisp. He does indeed go for a Will-O-Wisp, so it's really, really nice prediction for Kevin, and he's going to get that Synchronize on the Weezing there and get it Will-O-Wisp right back, so it's pretty awesome. I don't know if this Umbreon's actually running Heal Bell, but it'll probably Heal Bell next turn if it is. So they're both going to take a bit of burn damage, and there's that Heal Bell, which I kind of always thought was going to happen because Umbreon's pretty much the only Heal Beller other than Lantern that was allowed in this tournament at all. So he's going to heal up his burn, and Weezing's just going to go for Sludge Wave, which is going to do nothing to Umbreon because Umbreon's such a beast. Beast of the bulk. So he's going to get a bit of HP recovery from his leftovers, and Weezing's going to take a tiny bit more damage from the burn as well. He's going to swap out and go into his Lantern, there you go, the only other heal bell that we have, and swap straight into a foul play from Umbreon, which is going to like do some pretty nice damage, and I think Miss Magius might get heal bell as well because Carl just pointed at it. So Umbreon's going to get some more leftovers and go up to, will you shut up, I don't care if Espeon gets heal bell. God damn it, okay, a lot of things get heal bell. So Lantern's going to go for a heal bell, speaking of heal bells, and heal the team for him there, and just as he heal bells, Bad Luck's going to whack on some Bad Luck and Toxic the Lantern, which is just not what Lantern wants at all, because Lantern's quite bulky, and bulky Pokemon don't like being poisoned. So poor Lantern's going to get Toxic there, but it's easily going to be able to cure itself next turn probably, which isn't going to be too much of a worry. So that's going to take that little bit of toxic damage as it starts to build up there, and going to go for that heal bell, which he obviously was going to do because he wants the Toxic Lantern. No one. So he's going to cure the whole team of poisoning, and Bad Luck's just going to go for another foul play. Umbreon's just kind of, you know, wrecking shit with foul play for days, but not really because this Lantern is like a beast. So Lantern's going to get some lefties, and Umbreon's going to get some lefties, and it's pretty much a jolly fucking picnic with lefties and bells. Sounds kind of weird actually. The Lantern's going for Dazzling Gleam, which was unusual because I knew it could learn it, but I wasn't expecting it to run it, and Umbreon's going to keep going for foul plays. It's just going to do a nice bit of damage there actually, going to do more than before, it's probably like min-max and stuff. And Lance is going to get a little bit of lefties, and so is the Umbreon, so we're still having a picnic. The picnic continues, and Lance has had enough of fucking around with this Umbreon, so he's going to just get out of there and go for a Volt Switch and swap out. With his Voltrush, he's going to swap into Hydreigon, who's like pretty OP. He's like the most OP poke in this tournament, other than probably Umbreon. He's going to go into foul play there, which isn't going to do much because it's resisted, and Hydreigon's got leftovers as well. The picnic continues. So is Umbreon, so Umbreon's going to get a bit more HP as well, and it's going to be a bit of a stalemate, so Umbreon's forced to kind of swap out there because it can't really do anything to it, and go into Drapion, who's hopefully going to be a bit more OP and kick some ass. Hydreigon's going to swap out though and go for a U-turn. It was probably definitely going to be on that Umbreon instead of Drapion, but it was a pretty good swap there for Kevin. And he's going to swap into Golurk, which is kind of a dodgy swap because obviously Drapion is Park Dark type, and he's going to smack down with that stab knockoff. It's just going to live with the tiniest bit of health, which I'm really surprised about. He's going to knock off the Expert Belt, and Golurk's going to go for that Earthquake. Expert Belt or not, it's definitely going to one-shot that Drapion, and Drapion is Drapey gone. So that is the end of poor Drapion there, and in comes Toxicroak, which is another really, really OP Pokemon that we have in this tournament as well. This thing's like so powerful with like Bulk Up and Sub and Drain Punch and all that kind of crap. So he's going to go for a Poison Jab there on the Weezing that was swapped in. And it's not going to do too much, which is pretty awesome. He's going to go for a Swords Dance there, probably predicting a Will-O-Wisp, and one is trying to negate the attack loss, which is pretty good, but he actually goes for a Pain Split and gets that +2 attack boost, which is probably quite helpful because now he'll probably be able to finish it off with an attack. But he's actually going to swap out, negating that Swords Dance, and go into Umbreon, which I thought was kind of strange, but there must be some method to the madness. Weezing's going to go for another Will-O-Wisp, which is probably why he swapped out, and Umbreon's going to synchronise that Will-O-Wisp right on back at it, and then probably continue to heal Bell up and save his own like teammates there. He's going to take a little bit of burn damage, and so is the Weezing there, bring them both almost into half health. And he's going to swap out his Umbreon and go back into Toxicroak, I think. Yeah, he's going to go back into Toxicroak and see if he can set it back up on his Weezing, hoping that he would swap out his Weezing back into Lantern to heal Bell as well, which he doesn't do. He swaps into Hydreigon instead, which is a pretty good swap, and Hydreigon's going to get a free turn of lefties because everything has lefties in this battle. He's going to swap out his Toxicroak yet again and go into his Gligar. Not quite sure why. Hydreigon's going to go for Toxic there, and Gligar's got immunity, which is pretty lucky. I mean, I don't think that was expected, but that was pretty lucky. Although, didn't he swap out from Toxicroak, so he wouldn't have got Toxic anyway, which is kind of weird. So Hydreigon's going to go for Dark Pulse and get the flinch on Gligar as well, the lucky flinch, and he's going to go for another Dark Pulse there, which is almost going to take it out, but Gligar doesn't flinch a second time and is going to go for a Roost, negating his flying typing and restoring his HP to almost full. He's going to swap out there, probably not wanting to take any more Dark Pulses or flinch or anything like that, and go back into his Toxicroak, who will also resist the Dark Pulse because of its fighting typing. So obviously that Hydreigon's going to go for that Dark Pulse. Maybe it's Specs or Scarfed in, I'm not sure. I think it's probably Scarf and not Specs, so he's going to fight that Hydreigon because he obviously can't really do anything, making me think it's definitely Scarfed, and Toxicroak's just going to finish off the Escavalier that swaps in with a Drain Punch and get a smidgeny little bit of health back, which is going to be pretty useful because every little helps. Yeah, Tesco's and all that, so Toxicroak's going to be Toxicroak appreciating the bad jokes. In comes Lantern anyway, and Toxicroak's just going to Drain Punch that thing for days and just finish that off because Lantern's physical defense is nowhere near as good as its base special defense. And so poor Lantern can't really handle that at all, and that's going to be the end of the Lantern there. I'm pretty sure Toxicroak turns this match around because there's only 3 Pokemon on each team now. So he's going to swap out his Toxicroak, probably fearing another Will-O-Wisp from this Weezing that's just come in, and going to go make the same play back into Umbreon. And sure enough, he does go for that Will-O-Wisp, and Umbreon is already burned still, so that's obviously not going to affect it at all, and so is the Weezing, so you couldn't synchronise it even if he wasn't burned. Umbreon's going to take the burn damage, and so is Weezing, who's on like not much health at all. Was probably going to go for a Pain Split, but Umbreon or Kevin decides to go for Foul Play, which is really not going to do much at all. And the Weezing's going to go for Sludge Wave, which is hardly going to do anything either. And they're both going to get like a actually no, the Black Sludge was knocked off, isn't it? So it's just Umbreon that's going to get a bit of recovery, but is going to take that residual burn damage at the same time, which is kind of sucky for Umbreon. He's going to heal Bell just so he stops taking burn damage for a little bit. Maybe he's got Moonlight as well, because that's the set that I have on my Umbreon, was Foul Play, Healed Bell, Moonlight and Toxic, I think. So Umbreon's going to take another Sludge Wave there, like a beast, and get some more lefties recovery. Weezing's just going to slowly start dying to the burn. I'm kind of expecting it to go for a Pain Split pretty soon, but Umbreon outspeeds it there and goes for another Foul Play just to finish it off, which is the end of the Weezing, which was pretty fortunate for Kevin, because that Weezing could have like been quite problematic to Gligar and Toxicroak and stuff. If Umbreon had died, then there'd be no way of healing it, it could have just got stalled. Anyway, in comes Hydreigon, not wanting a U-turn. Umbreon's going to swap out and go into Toxicroak. And sure, the Hydreigon does go for a U-turn, so he's going to swap out and resist that, and it's not going to do much at all, which is awesome. He's going to swap now into Golett because that's the only Pokemon he has left, so whether Kevin went for a Drain Punch will be like the making or breaking of that move, and he doesn't. He goes for a Poison Jab, which is just going to finish off that Golett, even though it resists a tiny bit of health, and that is the end of the Golett. Dun 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 dun! It's going to take a tiny bit of like Life Orb recoil there, and in comes the Hydreigon again, so it's now Toxicroak on Hydreigon. Somehow the match has turned, and that was 3 against 1, whereas before it looked really like unlikely that Kevin could win. So he's going to go for Drain Punch, almost healing himself up to 4 from 1 Drain Punch on the Hydreigon. And Hydreigon's going to go for its strongest move, which is probably Dark Pulse, and it's going to do nothing because of its resistance. It's going to get a tiny bit of health from leftovers, but it's not going to be enough to save it from the Drain Punch, since the other one almost one-shot it and completely obliterated it. So it's one more Drain Punch, and that is the end of the Hydreigon. Hydreigon. So Hydreigon had all of his energy drained, and that is the end of the battle. I really hope you guys enjoyed this battle as much as I did, and I apologise again for not uploading in ages, and for like really rushing through this narration, because I've got to go somewhere, so I'm trying to like force it out as fast as I can so I can render it and upload it so you guys don't get really mad at me. Bye!